Now I feel that this could still use some improvements. It would be nice if this back arrow didn't overlay on top of the text. And also, as we start to collapse, we begin to see that the content to the right disappears over to the right side because the width of the element is bigger than the width of the container, because the width of the content is bigger than the width of the viewport. Now there's something funky going on. If we scroll down a little bit, and if we scroll to the right or to the left, you can see that we have a lot of white space here that we can horizontally scroll to. Now ideally, our content wouldn't have any horizontal scrolling. If you can imagine using a mobile device and swiping up, you expect the content to just flow vertically and not start to drift horizontally, which it would do at this point if we swiped a little horizontally on our way down. Now this is one of those things that's a little tricky to pinpoint. I'm going to move the dev tools over to the side here so we have a little bit more vertical space. Now as we expand the browser viewport, that white space gets smaller and smaller, and if we go full screen, we still have a little bit left but not a ton. And you might notice that if we hover over the slideshow at the top, a lot of it disappears. So part of what's going on, I'm suspecting, is that as we change the size of this navigation element, it now overlaps to the right as it disappears. And this box that contains it isn't set to hide that. So let's see if we can fix that problem. So I'm going to inspect this container element here, and I'll make sure that our slideshow div is selected. And now part of the problem might be that we're setting the width to 100%. So instead of doing that, let's set the width to auto. So again, the reason why we're doing this is that setting the width to 100% can sometimes interact oddly with margins and padding. To further resolve this, we'll set the box sizing to border box. That way the width that we're setting for the content won't be extended further by margin and padding, and we'll set the overflow to hidden. Now again, we're suspecting that this element, as it fades out, is moving outside of the bounds of our element, and without overflow set to hidden, it will display. Even if it has an opacity of 0 or is totally transparent, it will still take up some space. So with these changes, if we make the browser big enough, you'll see that our horizontal scrolling goes away.